All pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So first we read from the nice black book. Yes.
Yes.
Wait, have special.
Please.
Perfect spot.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, so we just continue from the mark, right?
You pretty much just take anywhere.
No, we have the mark.
The blue mark now.
The blue mark is
You
here.
haven't finished it though? Like, you haven't finished it.
Okay, and this just popped up. No, I mean, sorry. I know. Okay, so we are reading from Preaching is the Essence. Which is a drops from the ocean of the nectar of the glories of preaching Krishna consciousness. A devotee is not satisfied with his own salvation. We read that.
Yeah, we read that.
So it seems he's using the blue. That's great. I feel much better now.
You guys said you could have just picked this one. Just gone with it.
Okay, a devotee feels compassion for the fallen souls. We read that or not? A devotee feels compassion for the fallen souls. Devahuti continued. My dear Lord, please also describe in detail, both for myself and for people in general, the continual process of birth and death. For by hearing of such calamities, we may become detached from the activities of this material world. I'll read again. My dear Lord, please also describe in detail, both for myself and for people in general, the continual process of birth and death, for by hearing of such calamities, we may become detached from the activities of this material world. My dear Lord, you are just like the sun, for you illuminate the darkness of conditional life of the living entities, because their eyes of knowledge are not open. They are sleeping eternally in that darkness without your shelter. And therefore, they are falsely engaged by the actions and reactions of their material activities, and they appear to be very fatigued. So, purport. Lord Kapila was very satisfied by the request of his glorious mother, because she was thinking not only in terms of her personal salvation, but in terms of all the fallen conditioned souls. Bhagavatam 3:29. verse 3, 5, and 6. And what is this? Purports, probably purposely relate to the topic. Anyway, last few. I don't know how you read this. What is this? PP 1000.
Page.
Look.
Pages 1,229, 1,231, 1,233.
Okay, let's put the blue mark. So I would like today to primarily focus on divine pastime of Lord Chaitanya. On this day of Makara Sankranti, he took sannyas in order to show the path of devotional service to the fallen souls of Kali Yuga. And before that, we will read from Bhagavatam with the purport. Okay, this is also not marked properly. 132, right? Chapter 3, Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Text number 2. Yasyambasi shayanasya yoga nidram vitan vitaha nabi hradam bhujad asid brahma vishwasrijam pati. Yasyambasi shayanasya yoga nidram vitan vataha nabi hridam bhujad asid Brahma Vishwa Srijam Pati Yasyam Basi Shayanasya Yoga Nidram Vitan Vitaha Nabi Hridam Bhujad Asid Brahma Vishwa Srijam Pati.
Yasyam Vasi Shayanasya Yoga Nidram Vidhanvataha Nabi Hridam Bhujadasid Brahma Vishwa Srijam Pati.
Somebody.
Yasyam Vasi Shayanasya Yoga Nidram Vitavaha Nabi Hradam Bhujadasid Brahma Vishwa Srijam Patihi.
Yasyam Vasi Shayanasya Yoga Nidram Vitavaha Nabi Hridam Bhujadasid Brahma Vishwa Srijam Patihi.
Okay. Word by word. Yasya, whose, Ambasi, in a water, Shayanasya, lying down, Yoga Nidram, sleeping in meditation, Vitan Vataha, ministering, Nabi, navel, Hrada, out of the lake, Ambujat, from the lotus, Asit, was manifested, Brahma, the grandfather of the living beings, Vishwa, the universe, Srijam, the engineers, Patihi, master. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. A part of the Purusha lies down within the water of the universe. From the navel lake of his body sprouts a lotus stem, and from the lotus flower atop this stem, Brahma, the master of all engineers in the universe, becomes manifest. Purport. The first Purusha is Karanodakashai Vishnu. From his skin holes innumerable universes have sprung up. In each and every universe, the Purusha enters as the Garbhodakashai Vishnu. He is lying within the half of the universe which is full with the water of his body. and from the navel of Garbhodakashai Vishnu has sprung the stem of the lotus flower. So you're following? Garbhodakashai Vishnu lies on the causal ocean, and now stem is, sprouted. Like whatever you sprout you can have. Same process. Without mother and father, or like you have male, female plants. Some plants are, how you say, hetero, right? Genius. So, macrocosmos and microcosmos, they function in the same way, we can see. And that points out that there is a, that points out too that there is some intelligent design present there. Some kind of intelligence is there. Some they say it's non-personal, some they say it's personal. We say it's personal. So let's see what else we have to hear in that line. Okay, so we have the stem of the lotus flower sprung from Garbhodakashai Vishnu. The birthplace of Lord Brahma, who is the father of all living entities and a master of all demigod. Engineers engage in a perfect design and working of universal order. Within the stem of the lotus there are 14 divisions of planetary systems. So within the stem, there's all these universes, included our tiny planet, included New York, included Harlem neighborhood, whatever this neighborhood is, just like here, right, nearby Harlem, included this room, included us. So everything is in the stem of the flower. So just imagine how small we are. We live in it's the ordinary stem of the flower. So insignificant. So within the stem of the lotus there are 14 divisions of planetary systems, and the earthly planets are situated in the middle. Stem, heavenly planets, on top first Brahma, Brahmaloka, heavenly planets. In the middle, Earth, earthly system, and lower planetary system. Everything in the stem. Okay? Cool, huh? Krishna is cool. In Germany, they have their webpage for Krishna conscious movement in Berlin is krishnaiscool.da. So really cool. We are in the stem of the lotus flower. So uppers, there are other better planetary systems. Uppers, there are other better planetary systems. And the topmost system is called Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. Downwards from the earthly planetary system, there are 7 lower planetary systems inhabited by the Asuras and similar other materialistic living beings. From Garbhodakashai Vishnu, there is expansion of the Kshirodakashai Vishnu, who is the collective Paramatma of all living beings, is called Hari, and from him all incarnations within the universe are expanded. Therefore, I need like 10 of these fishermen to make my voice running properly. Sorry. And therefore, the conclusion is that the Purusha avatar is manifested in 3 features. First, the Garbhodakashai Vishnu creates aggregate material ingredients of the Mahatattva. Second, the Garbhodakashai, who enters in each and every universe. And third, the Kshirodakashai Vishnu, who is Paramatma in every material object, organic or inorganic. One who knows these plenary features of the personality of Godhead knows Godhead properly. And thus the knower becomes freed from the material conditions of birth and death, old age and disease, as it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. What is that verse? Shastraji. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshana Darshanam. Next.
I will get the next line.
Me too.
Actually, the second line of the second line.
That's the second part. Yeah. So, one who knows the splendid features of the personality of Godhead knows Godhead properly, and thus the knower becomes freed from material conditions of birth, death, old age, and disease, as is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. In this shloka, the subject matter of Mahavishnu is summarized. So if you want to know about Mahavishnu, we have it here summarized. The Mahavishnu lies down in some part of the spiritual sky by his own free will. Thus, he lies on the ocean of Karna, from where he glances over his material nature. And the Mahatattva is at once created. So that glance is? Who is the glance? Shambhu. Shiva. How it's called? Sadashiva. Partially present in Advaita Acharya. This combination of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. So that was that impregnating. The Lord doesn't have to use, parts of the body that we usually use for the procreation. He can use any part of the body, like we sing every morning, Sakalendriya Priti Vritti Manti, right? So the Mahavishnu lies down in some part of spiritual sky by his own free will. Thus he lies on the ocean of Karna, from where he glances over his material nature, over his material nature, not ours. And the Mahatattva is at once created, at once, thus electrified by the power of the Lord. The material nature at once creates innumerable universes, just as in due course a tree decorates itself with innumerable grown fruits. The seed of the tree is sown by the cultivator, and the tree or creeper in due course becomes manifested with so many fruits. Nothing can take place without cause. It's so foolish thinking that this material creation took place without cause. It's uber foolish. It's crazy. Who is crazy? Prabhupada wrote this article, right? The Karna ocean is therefore called the causal ocean. Karna means causal. We should not foolishly accept the atheistic theory of creation. We should not foolishly accept the atheistic theory of creation. The description of the atheist is given in the Bhagavad Gita. The description of the atheist is given in the Bhagavad Gita. The atheist does not believe in the Creator, but he cannot give a good theory to explain the creation. Material nature has no power to create without the power of Purusha. Just as Prakriti of woman cannot produce a child without the connection of Purusha of man. The Purusha impregnates and the Prakriti delivers. We should not expect milk from the fleshy bags on the neck of goats, although they look like breastly nipples. Similarly, we should not expect any creative power from the material ingredients. Bottle, multiply yourself. Come on. What's up? They'll be cold though. I need a new bottle. We must believe in power of the Purusha, who impregnates the Prakriti of nature. Because the Lord wished to lie down in meditation, the material energy creates innumerable universes at once. In each of them the Lord lay down, and thus all planets and different paraphernalia were created at once by the will of the Lord. The Lord has unlimited potencies, and thus He can act as He likes by perfect planning, although personally He has nothing to do. No one is greater or equal to Him. That is the verdict of the Vedas. So that is the verse for today. Vishnu Prabhu last time nicely explained all these Purusha avatars. So he did a nice job instead of me. And therefore we can read about this great holiday today, and that is acceptance of sannyas by Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. And we will say shortly first something about Ganga Sagar Mela. Grantra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. So Ganga Sagar Mela is also today. It's a festival observed especially at the confluence of the Ganges and the Bay of Bengal. Kapil Ashram, Kapil Ashram, the ashram of Lord Krishna's incarnation as Kapiladev, the son of Devahuti, is located at this place. The festival commemorates King Bhagirathi bringing the river Ganges down from the celestial planets to the ocean and the lower worlds. We can read about that pastime in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 3rd canto. Very lengthy and interesting story. Very, very lengthy story. It goes through hundreds of years. So, in the Ganga Sagar Mela, over 6 lakhs pilgrims. 6 lakhs, matlab 600,000 people, around 600, 500,000 plus. They assembled there to take a holy dip at the place of confluence of river Ganges on the Makara Sankranti day, the day where Makara, this Capricorn, is entering the sun. So, and one nice Ganga Sagar Mela pastime with Śrīla Prabhupada. On January 13, 1976, Śrīla Prabhupada was visiting Calcutta Hare Krishna Temple on Albert Road. With him was his disciple Hari Shauri Das, who writes about that year Ganga Sagar Mela. Today was Ekadashi and Śrīla Prabhupada took his morning walk along the Ganga. Hundreds of pilgrims were taking a dawn bath there. Having come for the Ganga Sagar Mela, Prabhupada explained that Sagara is the sea, so the Mela is a spiritual gathering on an island in the Ganga's estuary. Evidently eager pilgrims had traveled from as far away as Rajasthan in the northwest. They camped along the banks of Mother Ganga, washing their few possessions, as well as themselves, in the holy waters, unmindful of the boats and other river traffic passing by. They sat contentedly on the pathways, cooking breakfast and drying out their clothing, nectar. India. Place where you can live whole year long outside. No problem. And therefore very best for spiritual activities. You don't need a house. Noting the shining lota, in brackets, combination water pot and drinking vessel. One man carried. Prabhupada remarked that if even the lota is so clean, we can understand how clean he must personally be. Prabhupada also recalled how he and his mother has bathed in the same spot when he was a child. So you can read more about this pastime in biographical series on his travel, Hari Shauri's travels with Śrīla Prabhupada, Transcendental Diary, Ki Jai. And now, sorry that I will read so much today, but unfortunately I'm not able to narrate so nicely the pastime of Lord Chaitanya taking sannyasa, and I found a wonderful text describing that. So I don't want to cheat you of any part of this transcendental nectar. So this text describes the seemingly cruel and heart-wrenching sannyasa ceremony of the young Nimai Pandit, the golden Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, wherein he enters in the renounced order of life, and the intense anguish of separation felt by his devotees, family and friends. So, a tragedy of separation, the first part of the text is titled. According to solar calculation, it was on a day of Makara Sankranti, an auspicious conjunction of the stars, that Nimai Pandit went to Katwa to take sannyas, the renounced order of life. After this, he would become known as Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. He swam across the Ganges in a wet cloth, ran towards Katwa. Just before this, he told only a few of his friends, including Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit, Mukunda and others, the time when I will accept the robe of renunciation is very near. A few days before, an opposition party has been raised against Nimai Pandit. those who believe that material nature is the highest principle, like we read also. And that consciousness is a product of matter, began to abuse Nimai Pandit. He thought, I came to deliver the lowest of the men, but if they commit offenses against me, there will be no hope for their upliftment. So that's a confidential reason for his taking sannyas. Suddenly he said, I came with that medicine which gives the greatest relief, but now I find that their disease is rapidly growing worse and seems beyond treatment. It will take its own course towards doom. The patients are committing offenses by abusing their doctor. They are making arrangements to insult me. They take it that I'm a family man, their nephew. They take me as one of them. I came with the best medicine for the present degraded age, but now I find that they are plotting against me. Now they are doomed. At least I have to show them that I'm not one of them, he thought. I shall leave family life and take sannyas and wander from village to village, town to town, preaching the holy name of Krishna. That was his decision. And within a few days, he went to Katwa to take sannyas from Keshava Bharati Maharaj. The day before, he left to take sannyas. From the afternoon until the evening, there was a spontaneous gathering of devotees in the home of Nimai Pandit. Every year in Bengal, that day was celebrated as Lakshmi Puja, worship of the goddess of fortune, when special cakes are prepared and distributed. Nimai, knowing the next morning he would leave Navadvip to take sannyas, attracted his followers in such a way that almost every leading devotee came to see him that evening. Next part is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. They came with flower garlands and many other offerings to be presented to the Lord. Nimai accepted their garlands and then placed them on the necks of the devotees who gave them. Only 4 of his most intimate devotees knew he was leaving. The ordinary devotees did not know that this would be his last night in Navadvip. With his own hands he garlanded the necks of his devotees and appealed to them. Always chant the name of Krishna. Under no conditions should you give up this Krishna Nam, and do not anything else. While working, eating, sleeping, or walking, waking, day or night, or in whatever you do, continuously take the name of Krishna. Always talk about Krishna, nothing else. If you have any real attraction or affection for me, then don't do anything without chanting the name of Krishna. Cultivate Krishna consciousness. Krishna is the origin of us all. Nicely is going with the text that we read, right? He is our Father. We have come from Him. The son who shows no gratitude towards the Father is sure to be punished birth after birth. Always chant these names of Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. No other religious principle is required. Chant Hare Krishna. This is not an ordinary mantra, but this is the Maha Mantra, the greatest of all great mantras, the very essence of all the mantras known to the world. Only take to this always. No other prescription is to be followed. Remember your Lord, your home. This is a foreign land. You have nothing to aspire after here. Try always to go back home, back to Godhead. In this way the Lord spoke, and all his devotees intuitively came because it was Nimai Pandit's last night in Navadvip, the Lord and a fruit seller. Late at night, one devotee named Sridhar Kolavech arrived. He was to make trade on the plantain tree and its fruit. He would sell the fruit, ripe or green, and the big leaves which are used as plates. Sometimes Nimai would pay him less for his fruit than what they were worth. And sometimes he would snatch the best fruits from him. Sridhar came to see him late at night to offer him a choice pumpkin. And Nimai thought, I spent almost my whole life snatching so many things from him. And now, on this last night, he has brought this wonderful pumpkin. I can't resist, he said to Sachi Devi. Mother, Sridhar had given me this pumpkin. Please think of how it can be prepared. At bedtime, sometimes came with some milk. Nimai said, "Mother, with this milk and this pumpkin, please prepare some sweet rice." So Sachi Devi prepared some pumpkin sweet rice. So we can make pumpkin sweet rice on this day. That would be a great idea. So pumpkin boiled with the milk, rice and sugar. Very simple. Much later that night, at about 3 o'clock in the morning, Nimai went away. He left Vishnupriya Devi asleep in a bed. His mother Sachi Devi, sensing what was to come, was staying awake all night guarding the door.
Oh my God.
Nimai bowed down to her and went away. Maybe some of us have this experience also from their mothers when wanted to join the ashram. So Nimai bowed down to her and went away. And like a stone figure, Mother Sachi Devi sat there by the gate as Nimai left. She could not say anything, but was struck dumb. A little after 3 o'clock in the morning, Nimai swam across the Ganges. He swam across the Ganges.
Oh my God.
And in his wet cloth, went straight to Katwa, a distance of 25 miles. He reached there by 9 or 10 o'clock. There he approached Keshava Bharati to take sannyas. Mother Sachi's sadness. In the early morning, the devotees came to see Nimai and found Sachi Devi like a statue, sitting at the door. The door was open. Everything was empty. "What's the matter, Sachi Devi?" they asked. She told them, "Oh, I was waiting for you, devotees. You take possession of the house. I shall go somewhere else. I can't enter this house anymore. You are his devotees. You are the true heirs. Take possession." They began to throng around her and console her. "You will go? What about the young wife he left? The girl is only 14 years old.
Oh my God.
Who will protect her? You can't shun the responsibility given to you. It is on your shoulders." In this way, they came and consoled her and tried to give her some hope. Suddenly, the devotees heard that Nimai Pandit Śrī Gauranga had left Navadvip. They learned that he had gone to Katwa, to Keshava Bharati's ashram to take sannyas, bidding goodbye to the people of Navadvip forever. A dark shadow came down. Many began to weep and cry for him. Many of them ran towards Katwa. Nimai Pandit was unpresented scholar with the beautiful features, tall, fair, and benevolent. He had already made the people mad with the holy name of Krishna. He had released the two great sinners, Jagai and Madai, from their nasty life. He had checked the Muslim ruler, the Qazi, who had broken the mridanga or drum, as famous Pandit. He had defeated many scholars who came to conquer Navadvip, which was very much renowned for its high culture of learning, especially of logic. At that time in Navadvip, logic, nyaya, worship of material energy, tantra, and official Hinduism, smriti, were in high culture. Navadvip was highly renowned for scholarship. If Pandits could not defeat the scholars of Navadvip, they could not become famous. From far away in Kashmir, Keshava Kashmiri had to come to Navadvip to get a certificate that he was a Pandit, and he was defeated by Nimai Pandit. Keshava Kashmiri was such a big Pandit that it was rumored that he was favorite child of Saraswati, the goddess of learning. No one could face him. Still, he was defeated by Nimai Pandit. Goodbye forever. But Nimai Pandit left Navadvip forever and took sannyas because the people of Navadvip could not appreciate him. He reached Katwa, where just on the banks of Ganges there was a sannyasi, Keshava Bharati. Nimai went to him and asked him for sannyas. Keshava Bharati suddenly found that his ashram was full of luster. At first, it seemed as if the sun was rising before him. Then he saw that it was a bright person approaching. He rose from his seat and with strained eyes approached in wonder. "What is this?" he thought. Then he realized that the great devotee scholar Nimai Pandit had come. He appeared before him saying, "I want to take sannyas from you." But Keshava Bharati could not accept Nimai's offer. "I am charmed by your beauty and personality," he said. "But you are so young, only 24 years old. What about your mother, your wife, and your guardians? Without consulting them, I cannot venture to give you the robe of renunciation. In the meantime, as it was Makara Sankranti, a famous holiday, many people had come to take bath in the holy waters of Ganges. So that's that same holiday. They gathered there, and the rumor spread like fire. Nimai Pandit of Navadvip has come to take sannyas. Many men flocked there until the huge crowd gathered. Next title. Voice raised in protest. They all opposed Mahaprabhu's sannyas. Some of them raised their voice in protest. You, Keshava Bharati, we won't allow you to give sannyas to this young man. He has family, his mother and wife. We won't allow it. If you give sannyas to this charming, young, beautiful boy, we will break down your ashram immediately. It can be. But Nimai Pandit kept pressing for sannyas. At last, Keshava Bharati asked him, so you are that Nimai Pandit about whom we have heard for so much? Many big scholars came to conquer Navadvip, the famous seat of learning, and you have defeated them all. Are you that Nimai Pandit? Yes, said Nimai. Keshava Bharati told him, I can give you sannyas, but you must take the permission of your mother, otherwise I won't. I can't do it. Nimai suddenly began running towards Navadvip to ask permission. But Keshava Bharati thought, he has such a commanding personality, he can do anything. Nimai was called back. Keshava Bharati told him, with your most extraordinary personality, you can do anything. You will go there, charm your guardians, get permission and return. Nothing is impossible for you. The ordinary public was very much enraged, saying to Keshava Bharati, we can't allow you, Swamiji, to give sannyas to this young boy. It is impossible. If you do, then we shall smash your ashram. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu began performing kirtan, chanting Hare Krishna and dancing madly. And the angry mob grew, sometimes creating a disturbance. In this way, the whole day passed with no decision. The night passed in Sankirtan, and the next day, Nimai's will prevailed, although there was still some opposition. Tears from the eyes of millions. Nityananda Prabhu, Nimai's maternal uncle Chandrasekhar, Mukunda Datta and Jagadananda Pandit gradually arrived there. And that afternoon, the sannyas function began. Chandrasekhar Acharya was asked to perform the ceremony on behalf of Nimai Pandit, who began to chant and dance and charm the audience. Laksha Lochana Shru Varsha Harsha Kesha Kartanam Kotikanta Krishna Kirtandya Dana Dharanam Nyasavesha Sarvadesha Hehuta Sakartaram Prema Dama Devam Eva Naumi Gaura Sundaram. While showers of tears fell from the eyes of millions, he delighted in having his beautiful hair shaved away. Millions of voices sang the glories of Krishna as Śrī Caitanya accepted the staff of renunciation. From that time on, wherever he went, whomever saw him in the dress of sannyasi cried in grief, I sing the glories of that beautiful golden Lord, the giver of divine love. How can I remove such a beautiful hair? The scene was at Katwa, almost 500 years ago. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu took sannyas. He was young and beautiful, with a tall figure. He was only 24 and had beautiful curling hair. A barber was asked to shave him and approach him, but then withdrew. The barber could not venture to touch Nimai's body. He began to cry, how can I remove such a beautiful hair from such a beautiful head? And so many others were also crying aloud, what a horrible thing is being done here. Who is the creator of this sannyas? Who is so hard-hearted that he created the sannyas ashram where one must give up all that is near and dear and go from door to door, begging, leaving his own friends and relatives crying helplessly? Who is this creation of the Supreme? Is it this logical? Is it a happy thing? It is the most cruel. Nimai Pandit was smiling. After the barber was ordered repeatedly, somehow he was forced to shave Nimai's head. At first, he could not venture to touch his hair, saying, I can't touch him. But at last, he had to do the service of shaving the beautiful curling hair of the beautiful face of the 24-year-old genius boy. He began with his shears. Some people could not stand the scene. Some even became mad. In the midst of weeping, wailing, and crying of the threatening mob, it was done. You all see the picture, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking sannyas. Nimai Pandit was senseless. After being only half shaved, he stood up and began chanting in kirtan and dancing in ecstatic joy. After he was shaved, the barber promised, I will never again shave anyone with this hand. I would rather live by begging. This is my last service as barber. After this, that barber took up the occupation of a sweet maker. Mitai Bala. The sannyas ceremony. Ultimately, Nimai's appeal specified the mob. And a little before noon, the inevitable gradually came. The sannyas function was performed. Chandrasekhar Acharya, the maternal uncle of Nimai Pandit, was deputed to take charge of the rituals in the ceremony of sannyas. When the mantra was to be confirmed, Nimai Pandit asked Kesha Bharati, is this the mantra you will give me? I heard it in a dream. He whispered the mantra in the ear of his guru, who accepted, saying, yes, this is the mantra I shall give you. Then that mantra was given. So actually Nimai Pandit initiated Kesha Bharati rather than Kesha Bharati initiating Nimai Pandit.
Which mantra is it?
You will hear when you get sannyas. And the name of it's a famous mantra. I mean, that's.
Oh, it's in the Bhagavatam.
I think that's that mantra, right? I shall cross over to the surmountable. Because this Kesha Bharati was from Mayavadi.
Mayavadi.
So Nimai Pandit didn't want to be initiated with some other mantra. He wanted to get this a mantra. Yes. And that time, and the name of this sannyasi was not given in ordinary way either. A most peculiar name came through Kesha Bharati, Krishna Caitanya Mahāprabhu ki. None of the 10 names generally given to sannyasis was given to Nimai Pandit. So none of the 10 names generally given to sannyasis were given to Nimai Pandit. But the name that was given to him was Krishna Caitanya. As soon as the name, as they heard that name, the mob began to cry, Shri Krishna Caitanya Mahāprabhu ki!
Jai.
Oh, glory to Sri Krishna Caitanya! The father of Srinivasacharya was a class friend of Nimai Pandit. On his way to his father-in-law's house, he heard that Nimai Pandit has come to take sannyas. He ran there and seeing, can you imagine that whole scene? I mean, it's like, these whole people were like mad and, running around Navadip and running to Katwa and, crying. You have this barber, going completely nuts, It's like, somebody could say it's just like some monk taking his vows, shaving the head. What's going on here? So Srinivasacharya just heard it. And he ran there. And seeing everything, he became dumb. He was devastated and went half mad. After that, nothing came from his mouth but Chaitanya. After he heard the name of Krishna Chaitanya, whatever anyone said to him, he would only say, Chaitanya. He became mad. After that, his name became Chaitanya Das.
Srinivas Pandit?
That was the father of Srinivasacharya. Was a class friend of Nimai Pandit.
Srinivasacharya's father.
Seems so. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, newly dressed in red robes, embraced his guru, and both of them began to dance, chanting the name of Krishna. After some time, the meaning of the name was given. Kesha Bharati Maharaj said, actually this Keshava Bharati is not an ordinary person, some ordinary Mayavadi sannyasi. He's from eternal entourage of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not take sannyas from any ordinary Mayavadi like that. So, Sri Krishna Chaitanya means that you arouse Krishna consciousness through the entire world. So Keshava Bharati said that. Sri Krishna Chaitanya means that you arouse Krishna consciousness throughout the entire world. You have descended to make all people Krishna conscious. So the most suitable name for you cannot be but Sri Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, an ocean of despair. Mahaprabhu was very cheerful, thinking, I'm going to relieve so many souls from their eternal misery and affliction. I have promised to deliver the whole world from this ocean of misery and take them to the nectarine world. And now I'm going to accept this task. He was cheerful, but everyone around him was diving into the ocean of despair and sorrow. Some scholars stress that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas from Keshava Bharati, who was a Mayavadi unimpersonalist. But although Keshava Bharati may have externally shown himself in this way, it is seen that by coming in connection with Mahaprabhu, he became a devotee. Otherwise, we may also think that he was a devotee who came in a garb of impersonalist to help the preaching of Mahaprabhu by assisting him with the social formality of taking sannyas. At that time, all over India, Mayavadi sannyasis had greater recognition than Vaishnava sannyasis, and Keshava Bharati was already situated in that post. Mahaprabhu took the garb of sannyasi from him for his own purpose, to help his preaching activity. All these things may be explained in different ways. In any case, after Mahaprabhu took sannyas, Keshava Bharati began to sing and dance with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. He joined in Sankirtan and was immediately converted. So it's very, also this acceptance of sannyas by Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is very significant for our mission of spreading the holy names of this humongous city of New York among so many Jagas and mothers, including my humble self. And we are very glad to hear again and again these pastimes when Lord Chaitanya took sannyas in order to save the fallen souls, like our humble selves. So we should humbly pray on this holy day for the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, so he can empower us in whatever is our own capacity, so we can be of some help and assistance for his divine mission of delivering all the fallen souls of Kali Yuga to the eternal abode of Shri Goloka Vrindavan. Holy name itself descended to this material world. Golokera Premadana Harinama. Sankirtan is not different from the Lord himself, and it's the Lord himself. So by taking these holy names of the Lord to the streets of this city, we are given the opportunity to Krishna himself, Shyama Sundara Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to spread this movement. We don't have any ability to spread the movement. It is we are assisting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in spreading this movement by uttering these holy names of Krishna as far as possible, as pure. That's the most important thing. To chant in as much as possible pure manner, the names of Lord Hari, like that. So, yes, I'm saying that I'm thinking that it's such a special time that we have a chance to associate with teachings of Lord Chaitanya. We can associate Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. There was no time ever present like this, that we have this opportunity. it's a special time because actually in every 1,000 Kali Yugas, right?
100.
I think it's 1,000. Even if it's 100, it's enough. The Lord Chaitanya appears.
What's the day of Brahma?
Once a day of Brahma. That will be how many Kali Yugas?
1,000 yugas. 1,000 yugas.
So 1,000 Kali Yugas, right?
1,000 Kali yugas.
Every 1,000 Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya appears. Every Kali Yuga we have as a process is Sankirtan, chanting of the Lord's holy names. But then we will not have Lord Chaitanya every time appearing with Premanam Sankirtan. You will have incarnation of Godhead, who is also in charge for spreading the holy names, called this Gaur and Narayan. He will spread. They will have another form of Sankirtan. So, like that. So we are supremely fortunate. It's just such a small portion of time. 10,000 years of the Golden Age started by the this inauguration of the chanting of the holy names initiated by Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. We have 9,500 years to go, and you are so also supremely fortunate. You didn't only took a birth in the age when Lord Chaitanya appears along with his eternal brother Śrī Nityananda Prabhu, but you took birth just next to the most merciful Śrīla Prabhupada, who is the topmost general devotee of the Lord, who brought these holy names to the Western countries, Paschatya Desha Tarini, like that. And I mean, who can count our fortune? It's amazing. Being associated with the direct disciples of Śrīla Prabhupada. It's amazing when you think about that. So let us humbly pray never to get that opportunity that is given to us, so we can stay aloof from the clutches of Maya and hopefully we can be an worthy instrument in the hands of Śrīla Prabhupada and his worthy disciples. So it's 1:28. If somebody wants to add something, ask some questions, you're most welcome to do that now, please.
On Bhagavatam, if I can, there was
Please.
Nice point in the purport how everything is a cause, but atheists they reject this concept, and because they do not believe in the creator, but they cannot give a theory to explain the creation. And also I noticed they often say basically whoever says that everything has a cause, they say, or it's just religion, and so they have this opposite claim, which is and also, but instead they say that everything comes from chance, and they develop this probability theory or whatever, and they kind of substituted it by their own theory. So basically they are making their own religion out of that also. So that was just my remark.
No need to worry. It's said in the Shastra, particularly in Chaitanya Charitamrita, if I'm not wrong, that nobody was able to escape. But one kind of unfortunate people will actually. Well, the proud ones. The proud ones. Krishna can tolerate everything. Lusty man, angry man, envious man, no problem. But proud man, even to the gopis, he would not be tolerant with them. They are the supreme, utmost devotees, the gopis. He would not tolerate the pride. So, but as we know, devotees are more merciful than Krishna, so they are always trying to come up with new means how even these proud people we can trick them, right? Somehow or other stuck prasadam in their mouth, something. whatever. This is one idea in the ocean of ideas that can be implied like that. So no worries, everybody will be inundated in this ocean of Premanam Sankirtan like that. Now it's a little difficult, but you people will be glorified in the future. History will say these were the original soldiers that helped Mahaprabhu. You know, so if you're doing it well, right? As far as this wretched body permits, right? Yuga-dharma Śrī Krishna Caitanya Premanam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Granth-raj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya Chaitamrita Ki Jai. We have some more time because they're bringing prasadam up. And not His Grace Gokulendra Prabhu is sending something to tell us.
I'm just saying, if we're doing so-called the most glorious activity, and all the people and the demigods and everything should be glorifying, how do we carefully keep ourselves humble? You know, if you're doing the highest thing, then you start to think that you're high or that you're very exalted, and then that will cause it to be degraded, and then it'll just be the lower thing. It won't be the pure thing. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
What's your take on it, please?
Yeah, what's your take?
So, I mean, Lord Chaitanya says, Trinadapi Sunichena. And that means if you're humble, then you can kirtaniya sadahari, then you can always actually do kirtan. And so if you're not humble, if you're doing it with a motivation, then it's also not even pure bhakti, anya visita sunyam ganakarma navratam. So it's like filled with motivation, it's not filled with pure desire for Krishna. And then it's actually not kirtan, and then it's actually not being worth glorified by the other people. So we have to be very careful with our motivations and our what gives us energy. I mean, if we're in Maya, we're doing this to get out of Maya, we're chanting, Nama Bas or Nama Parad. Then I guess we just have to keep engaging in the process. It's kind of like it's like a catch-22. You do it, and if you're actually doing it, people should be glorifying you. But if you're actually doing it, you'll be really humble, and that's just it's always a problem.
It's a perfect answer. Let's answer every question as Chaitanya Mahāprabhu would answer on this holy day. That would be nice meditation, right? Let's answer any question anybody asks us, like how would Lord Chaitanya answer this question? Lord Chaitanya will answer this question. I'm guessing. He answered it for all people to come in the next 10,000 years. This is it. If you want to chant the holy names of the Lord, then you should be more humble than a straw in the street. What else? More tolerant than a tree.
You respect everyone.
Political false prestige and ready to offer all.
Imagine just giving respect to everyone. How you can be proud. I mean,
that's hard.
understanding how, like we read today in Bhagavatam, how much insignificant we are. We are living a stem of a petty flower. Okay, it's not a petty flower, it's a divine flower. It's a flower that sprouts from Lord Chaitanya's navel. It's a holy flower. It's a part of, not Chaitanya, expansion of Lord Chaitanya. It's a Vishnu, what I said. It's still, it's a stem of the flower, and, it's just this small, tiny universe. Actually, this is one of the smallest universes. This is one meditation that can help us being humble. So we live in one of the smallest universes. We had Brahma with 4 heads. Other universe is this Brahma with thousands and thousands of heads. Imagine that, what kind of multidimensional universe is that? He has to deal with 10 directions, right? 4 heads for the main sides and others. And like that. So how tiny we are. right? Once Prabhupada explained that there was one devotee who liked to control things a lot. We always this Ishvara Bhava. We are here for that, to play as Krishna. This is a playground where you can play like Krishna. We all little Krishnas trying to get that, snatch that pose. So then this devotee was like that a little bit too much in Ishvara Bhava. So he told him that, I think some devotees were complaining that Prabhupada called him. I don't like to say names. Like that too, maybe. Because the story is little, it's a nice story. So as Prabhupada said, there's this, so many universes are there, and in every you have this Purusha, incarnations, every is lying incarna, ocean, this incarnations breathing out from the pores of his, skins come in so many universes, and then there's Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma creates, and then there's so many systems, planetary systems there, and one of these planetary systems is earthly planetary system, and this earthly planetary system is tiny, tiny Earth. On this tiny, tiny Earth, there's this many countries, there's many continents, and there's among many continents, then there's one country called United States of America. In the United States of America, this is this one city called Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, there's many streets, and then amongst these many streets, there's one street called Vaseka Avenue. In this Vaseka Avenue, there's many houses, and amongst these many houses, there's one particular place which is called, this Radha-Dwarkadish temple. Is this Radha-Dwarkadish temples? There's many also, rooms there like that, and then in one room there's this one devotee. His name is Tamal Krishna, and I think he controls everything. So how much we are insignificant from that standpoint. Even if you look self in a mirror, you can see yourself, because you can see just this whatever suits. It's a suit. This body is a suit. We learn, right? It's not our real self. So you're so tiny, insignificant. As a spirit soul, our breadth and length is 10,000, like a tip of the. You cut 10,000 tip of the hair, and that's our. This is how much you're big. I'm big. This is my size. What's your size? 1 feet, 7 feet tall, 5 feet, 11.
I have thick hair.
That's our size. So if you come in front of the mirror in that form, you can see yourself. So tiny. So like that. So how much time more we have? If there's no question, we can always chant Hare Krishna. That sounds like a good deal. Okay. Granth Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrī Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu Mahavadani Avatar ki jai. Nitai Gaura Prem. Glories to assembled devotees. Vanchakalpatara Vishaka Patitana Pavanebhi Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.